I need another site. I cannot have this on audio, on mono. I can change it. I should switch them on. We'll finish it. Chat.
Westbound on the 10 freeway.
Kidnapping suspect.
Basically at the end of the freeway here in Santa Monica within a matter of minutes.
YouTube fix audio.
To the freeway here in Santa Monica within a matter of minutes.
Okay. I mean, they're right on him. This is good.
Yeah, that appears to be what happened, Carolyn. Now, where the vehicle was taken from and under what circumstances, that's unknown.
Yo, is there any police comms? Any context? Like, what kind of kidnapping is it? Is it like some custody battle, like, oh, I'm keeping the child type shit bullshit, or is it like?
So, the only two things that would appear to make the most sense is that the person stole the car, in all likelihood not even knowing that the kids were in there. But again, from what we're hearing, it is two children inside. We don't know their ages, we don't know their genders. But again, this person taking the car somewhere near the East LA area. That is where this started with the sheriff's department.
Awful. At this point, dude.
The westbound 10 freeway, and it was only on the westbound 10 freeway. That is when the CHP took over. So
I would ask the wife if there's possible gun.
As I mentioned, the 10 freeway was.
She says no. I would fucking go in front and just fucking slow down and fucking box this motherfucker.
California Highway Patrol in pursuit, but they're going to be limited on what.
I would stop as fast as possible.
Intervention tactics.
There's children inside.
Those two young victims are inside. I already heard them say on the scanner that they're not going to try a pit maneuver on this one, understandably so. But one thing that they were
pitting, spiking for the child, the children is bad.
In that tunnel that
but the part making an attempt to context.
xQc, if anyone deserves a bravo, it would be xQc for his dedication and hard work to the YouTube and streaming community. Bravo to you, xQc.
But we'll continue to watch the vehicle, see if we
Wait, hold on.
start seeing
It's a random guy?
him having a flat tire, but for now the pursuit continues
It's
here
not,
northbound on PCH.
Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Thankfully not. It looked like he was he had a pretty much open roadway on the westbound 10 freeway once he crossed over the 405, and he was at freeway speeds. So here on PCH, you see him traveling at about 40 miles an hour, so relatively slow, all things considered, and thankfully so with those two victims inside. Looking a little bit closer at the vehicle, I'm still watching those tires. I'm really hoping that he ran over that spike strip when he went in that tunnel. But again, at this point,
do you think he's armed or not?
And is continuing northbound on PCH. Again, very tinted windows, so we can't really see much inside, but I can at least show you some of the cruisers here that are trailing this vehicle. I'm counting 4 immediately behind him. I think there's probably one further back, holding back some of the traffic. And of course, we've also got the police helicopter overhead.
Oh, he's doing the outside strat. They should get a plane on this. Damn.
It really would be a perfect spot to do it, Carolyn, since it's basically just
I mean, it's
a
still 7 p.m.
3-lane road here, so they could actually lay spike strips across the entire road, and he's got a good chance of hitting them. So unless he were to see them and swerve into the opposite lane.
Yo, if the guy's being chill,
if they do deploy one up ahead,
and it's not escalating,
a very good chance that he's going to run
spiking
a
is
over,
I don't know.
That will be the end to this without anybody getting hurt. But I was just zooming in there too as you were asking your question. I thought
40 miles an hour is chill. Yeah, it is.
Passenger, and if you look there, you can see wearing a colorful t-shirt. I see his hand resting there on the side of the door. Unknown if that is another suspect, if there were two suspects and they're in the front and the kids are in the back, or if this is an older child, 13 years old or so, who would be able to sit in that front seat, and the other child is...
Habrían 2 menores de edad adentro. Esto es... Bien, otra vez, el Pacific Coast Highway, si usted va a tomar esta calle, o esta avenida más bien, que es muy larga, que corre alrededor de la costa de California, pues...
It was when we first heard about the pursuit, but it had been going on for about 10 minutes prior to
Might
that.
switch? Okay, hold on, I get the
audio. All the way here to the area.
I got ads on this fucking shit, man.
Possibly setting up to make that turn.
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. It did appear the driver had moved in to the far right lane. Now they're scooting back over. And still, Eliana, for the most part, continuing about the speed of traffic here, obeying the...
Florence and Avalon got a one-story commercial, previous burn, vacant, fire showing.
Chris is on!
We'll be in the defensive mode. LAPD's on scene. We're going to need DOT traffic.
Are aware of those two children inside of the vehicle, and again, kidnapping is believed to be one of the charges, the alleged charges here in this case. So unclear whether this is a domestic situation or if these two kids were perhaps kidnapped off the street. We don't know those details if at this point, but you can see it's relatively slow as we creep up past Temescal Canyon. We are in the Pacific Palisades. The driver weaving around traffic, refusing to pull over, although not driving at extreme speeds, only doing about 35, 40 miles per hour, which is relatively slow through this area, getting closer to Malibu here as we continue northbound on PCH. The sun is going down here along the coast. There are helicopters overhead. There are several black and whites right behind this suspect. If we widen out, we can give you an idea of the resources dedicated to this pursuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patrol cars, and again with the assistance of that LA County Sheriff's airship.
Who's walking middle of the fucking street, man?
Of this chase. Again, not a lot of traffic on this holiday weekend here along PCH. Traffic is relatively light here as he goes through the red light. They're making their way through that red light with him here.
How am I aging quick?
But again, they are aware of those children, and for that reason, they have denied the request for a pit maneuver. They will not pit this vehicle and put those children in harm's way. So he's got some advantages here because of the charges involved. We don't know how much gas is in the tank, obviously, but we can see that it is difficult to see inside the vehicle to get any more intel. Those windows are pretty heavily tinted here as he continues northbound PCH.
Jed, this guy thinks that doing the Malibu road fucking bullshit coast escape is they're gonna give up the chase. They're not giving this up.
Why are you moving?
This guy is brain dead.
Oh.
I don't even know why I tried it. This is just lame. Let me check the comms.
BLS
111.
Did they swap channels or not?
Not religion. Not the world.
Continuing northbound PCH, California Highway Patrol.
Ouch.
Following at a safe
My ears.
distance here. Again, relatively manageable speed, especially for this part of town. You can see he's continuing straight up the coast here, refusing to pull over. Again, we do not know how many adults are in the vehicle.
Guys,
only that there
they still haven't confirmed whether it's a random hijack or not.
The age of those children, again, a lot of details still to be worked out here, but a complicated situation due to the fact that there are children involved in this pursuit. East LA Sheriff started this pursuit, California Highway Patrol taking it over, and the Sheriff's helicopter again following this straight across town from Baldwin Park all the way out here, now making their way closer to Malibu on a Friday night, coming up on Topanga Canyon here, now picking up a little bit of speed, going around traffic here, and going through
Friday, Malibu,
so
usually they would give this up
the rules of the
instantly.
road, but not driving extremely fast either. Very little braking that we're seeing here. So they are taking all of that into account, and they are going to try and probably, at some point, I would imagine, try and create a traffic break along PCH to prevent any other interference. As you can see, traffic is actually light in both directions, north and southbound. So he's got the entire highway to play with here.
Registered to Scott Burnett with an address on Lake Havasu City. It's coming back with a CO license attached to it with an address in Lancaster, California, and it's returning on a 2006 Dodge Charger. 6-2.
Huh? Different call.
That they may be working with here. Can you push in on that primary unit, Rob? I just want to see and double.
What?
Copy that.
I mean, at this point, if they're gonna spike, they should start setting it up like ASAP. I mean, dude, there's no roads to go on. It's it's the Malibu bullshitter. There's only two options: either he stays forward, or he does like a hill exit or a U-turn.
Here. This did not start in Baldwin Park. Actually, it started in East LA. So the East LA County Sheriff's Department initiating this pursuit. Again, handing it off to California Highway Patrol along the 10 freeway. Took the 10 freeway straight across the entire city, and now
I know there's kids in the car, but they can still do it safely at 40 miles an hour. They can still puncture tires without much skidding, and if he goes off, he has less options.
See the helicopter flying through the shot here. Again, he's going around traffic at manageable speeds here.
Gives the cops a lot more options with very low risk, I think.
Repeatedly blowing through red lights here. We should also say we don't know for a fact that it's a male, unknown the gender of the driver, but you can see very difficult to tell. In fact, at some point, Maury, maybe we can get in front of it. I know
Bullshit fucking tinted windows, man.
But would love to take a peek through the
this shouldn't be legal.
The front windshield at some point, if it's possible. But he's continuing northbound at about 50 miles per hour, passing Big Rock Drive here in Malibu. Again, it almost appears as though they have successfully prevented. Yeah, they have basically, for all intents and purposes, created a traffic break.
It's not what I forgot what I said. They should be legal, as I said it. I said it should be legal.
It'll be curious to see if maybe they can also do the same thing ahead of him.
Did you do something?
Motorists out of harm's way here, but again, he is on the northbound side. Traffic again almost non-existent in both directions here.
Yo, it's bad for everybody.
33.
It's bad for identifying drivers. See they are. It's bad for officer safety. It's bad for other drivers. They can't tell what to expect out of you. Like, sometimes you look at a driver, they're texting or whatever.
In just a second,
you take a distance
through the front windshield, and we'll hopefully get a better idea of the demeanor and description of the driver behind the wheel. Here you can see those hands.
I thought it was like 7%
wheel.
in Florida, something like that. You say cry, but you think you're like a cool like gangster, like, yo, nobody can see me, my privacy is #1. Yo, this is my Amendment to Rights, Bill of Rights, George Washington, that defend those rights, motherfucker. You're a fucking bitch, nobody cares about you. You're a fucking peon. Bottom layer of the society, peon, buddy, holy shit.
Is running out of gas. They're going to refuel, and again, it's going to be up to these half dozen or so California Highway Patrol units to keep the suspect within arm's reach here. So they're not going to give this up. They've shown every indication that they are dedicated to this pursuit. Again, a kidnapping suspect. Unclear whether there are any other charges or what other charges.
Is there a child in front of him?
If you look closely enough, you can see it appears to be a little boy in the passenger seat of the vehicle. Looks like a little boy in the passenger seat coming up on a little bit of congestion as he makes his way further north. Here we are now looking southbound.
We can block this bitch ass.
Using the median to get around some of that traffic there. He's got the green light. He's going to continue through here as they continue this pursuit at a safe distance. But again, we're getting our first glimpse.
Police are they going to refuel? Show me.
Windshield. Apologize
they should be full
for
of fuel,
the exhaust there. We'll kind of crab along here and try and hold it steady. But you can see it does look like a male driver. I think that was it. Was that a male?
Link flight number.
Yeah, male driver and a little boy in the passenger seat. Coming around this cliff here.
Kid should just pull the brake, duh.
No.
You broke up one more time.
25 months, can I get a welcome to the jungle?
We have no idea what the situation is in the car. We have no idea if they're threatened, if he has any knowledge of how the cars work. If whatever, if the guy's a good driver, there's too many, you don't know the components.
Copy that, copy. So we're just getting some word in from our assignment desk that there's apparently a parent on the phone with law enforcement. Those two children were inside of the vehicle at the time that this vehicle was stolen. So this is a stolen vehicle, potentially carjacked from a parent with two children inside of the vehicle. The parent is telling law enforcement that there's about a half a tank of gas inside of this silver Chrysler, again, continuing to blow through these red lights here with at least a couple of children who you can only imagine
is this
must
the other
be
parent, though?
scared to death. This is a stranger that is driving this vehicle. There are 2 children inside of this stolen vehicle, and this is a pursuit that will not end until California Highway Patrol can safely stop this vehicle and apprehend that suspect. There is almost no other way that this pursuit can end, and hopefully if the driving remains as safe and slow as it is, nobody will get hurt here. Hopefully they can reach that suspect and negotiate with that driver. But again, disturbing details now as we get word that this is a stolen vehicle with 2 children in the vehicle at the time this vehicle was stolen. So that really complicates things, and it really just amplifies the care
could this not be
that they are taking with this vehicle. You can only imagine that they are trying to learn whatever they can about that suspect, if at all possible.
Police?
I'm sure they are working with more details surrounding the circumstances by which this vehicle was stolen. But it is distressing, to say the least, to learn that information. And as you see this pursuit continue up the Pacific Coast Highway, it's all starting to make a lot more sense. California Highway
that they could use would be that.
Thankfully, we can see that the driver is driving relatively safely, despite the fact that he has blown through a number of red lights. So hopefully that continues. Hopefully this is somebody that they can reason with, but it will not end until they apprehend the suspect and rescue those children. That is almost a sure thing at this point. There are a number of reasons, a number of factors that the watch commanders and supervisors take into consideration.
If the components are all accurate, this is
when to be more
one of the
when to
highest
use various
risk
tactics,
chase
and
we've seen in a
sometimes
while.
when to give up the pursuit altogether. We will not see them give this pursuit up with 2 innocent children inside of that car. You can take that one to the bank, and we'll continue to follow this as long as it takes, because obviously the circumstances
I don't think we've ever seen that before. Oh, we've seen that once before, but it was apparent.
Just hard to imagine for the parent and, of course, the children inside the vehicle. But again, he's continuing up PCH here, crossing Webb Way at another red light here. There was, right past Malibu Colony here, there was talk earlier of a spike strip being prepared at the...
Prepared or used?
As he kind of made his way towards Santa Monica, exiting off the 10 freeway. Perhaps we may see another spike strip attempt somewhere along PCH. It would not be surprising at all. The conditions appear optimal if they could set up ahead of the suspect and potentially deflate those tires
to do it
and safely bring this to a slow crawl. So we'll see if that's in the cards here. But what I can tell you is that any talk of a pit maneuver has been tabled for now, considering the dangerous nature of that tactic. And obviously, with children on board, they likely will not pit that vehicle.
No way. Also, did they look like they were wearing seatbelts or not?
Yeah. I'm actually we're scanning again here, trying to zero in, because it does look like I believe they've switched from the pink. Perhaps the teal, yeah. Continuing through another red light, northbound PCH.
I think I was right. I think the plane is police. It's just not labeled as, but...
Scanner 1, and it does sound like there is talk of...
It's not, really?
All right, just past John Tyler Drive here, there is some talk now of a possible spike strip attempt in the making here, perhaps a little further north along PCH. Something we're going to watch out for. We were just discussing that, and sure enough, it does sound like that might be the next tactic here to try and impede the suspect here. So if they could do that safely, that would be great. It'd be great to see them lay down a nice spike strip and poke those tires. But right now, that Chrysler is fully mobile and fully capable as it continues with about a half tank of gas. Again, this started in East LA, but probably still working with around a half a tank, I'd say, maybe a little less, obviously, at this point. That's the information that law enforcement is working with. So if nothing else, it'll eventually run out of gas. They can take this all the way up PCH if they need to. Unfortunately, darkness is going to start falling here in the next 20 minutes, but they have the resources in place. It is in a, it's on a safe highway here. You know, this is much better than chasing this guy through surface streets or a congested freeway. You're on PCH with very limited opportunity for him to turn off here and get lost. So I
this guy has no options for the next
maintaining a visual here, especially at
30
these
minutes
speeds. This
plus
should be a very simple
20 minutes.
wait and see game for them. They have time on their side.
They can easily spike this.
The airship that was assisting has pulled off for fuel. I imagine there is at least another airship probably on the way, or perhaps that airship will be heading back here with a full tank here as it gets dark. But California Highway Patrol, with at least a half a dozen units, making their way up PCH through Malibu here, and I imagine there will be additional CHP resources preparing to take over this pursuit as he gets up into the Ventura County area. That's going to be next here as we make our way up Malibu.
Let me check. I don't see the PC heli coming back. You're just kind of trolling the game. Yeah, I mean, I see it. It just, yeah. It's pretty far away, though.
Copy that. Coming up on Latigo Canyon Road as they continue northbound PCH, California Highway Patrol behind the suspect.
This might,
it does sound like they may be getting some help from the LA County Sheriff's Department here by way of a spike strip set up a little further north here. We're going to try and keep an eye out for that as he continues up the coastline here. They
had a car ready for spike, man.
There's at least one vehicle. Oh, he just hit it.
He just
hit it. He just hit it. Let's see if that was successful. That was, I believe, a sheriff's SUV there that laid down that spike strip. So just as we were talking about, California Highway Patrol chasing.
Fix the mic, man.
LA County Sheriff now laying down a nice spike, and he is picking up speed after running over that
Chad, this is why it's risky. It's why it's risky. I told you earlier, Chad. This is awful.
If this vehicle behaves,
if they are gonna go for it, they have to hit it. It's missing is fucking terrible because now he's going fast, man.
And now braking for some reason. Well, you can imagine the reason now. He is much more agitated, and the vehicle appears to be behaving
unless he hit it nice.
Thus far, but they did lay down a spike. He appeared to drive right over it, and we'll see if those tires start to wobble at all as they lose air. Hopefully, if he struck either side,
he's fast now.
If he struck the spike strip with either side of the vehicle, hopefully we'll see some of that rubber start to deflate there. So he's continuing northbound past Paradise Cove.
Yeah, now he's mauled.
Speed now, and they are, how far back are they now? They were really close on his tail. They are still pretty close, but he is picking up steam here. And
I don't see the tire that much.
Well, it's unfortunate because he was traveling much slower. Again, we just want to see this end as safely
This looks
as
flat.
possible.
Yeah, it does actually.
Hopefully they could bring this to a peaceful resolution. But right now, that driver is now agitated, and he is definitely stepping on the gas pedal.
It's being bouncy a little bit. I actually think it might be.
LA County Sheriff with the knife. I'm sorry. Winding way. Copy that. Copy that. Copy that. All right.
Yo, this guy should just give up, man. This is awful. Oh!
Oh no! Right into cross traffic, and the driver loses control.
What?
Right into the hillside there at a major intersection.
That's awful. That's actually awful.
and the driver is now
Shoot him!
jumping out of the vehicle.
Just shoot this guy!
That vehicle.
Okay. What a fucking loser!
On the run. They're going to chase him up this embankment here. There are children inside that vehicle. We'll go back just a second. Right now, we're going to.
Yo, tase that fucking bitch! Are you kidding me?
Chasing the suspect up the embankment as he runs for his
Oh my God! This cop! Jesus Christ!
Into an apartment.
Jesus Christ! Fucking loser!
Canaan Doom Road. A major crash there with cross traffic right along PCH at Canaan Doom. The driver still running barefoot, taking off a sweater and continuing to run through this apartment complex towards the beach. This is terrible. This is just terrible. He's continuing this foot pursuit here at Point Doom through a field in Point Doom.
Chat, I have to do. That was bad police work.
Through an open field here. We'll see if that officer was able to make his way up that embankment with him here. It was a pretty steep embankment, and he is now going to start running out. Look at it, he's really that's got to be really uncomfortable, barefoot, running through this field. He's still running. Can't see anybody behind him. Anybody behind him, Rob? Anybody at all? I don't lose him.
I mean, these are dead branches. These are going straight to his feet.
Yeah, he's running through the trees. At some point, I want to get an address here at the end of this neighborhood.
Somebody tased him in the fucking forehead already. What?
The vegetation behind some private property.
-84.
Some steep terrain here in Point Doom, and he is navigating it pretty well considering he's barefoot here. He is slowing down a little bit. There is private property not far from his position here, but he's in an open field off of Port Shed Road, right off of Canaan Doom, right off of PCH. You saw him jump out of the vehicle after a violent crash. At some point, we will get a condition on those kids, and we will get a shot of that vehicle. But right now, we are one of the only people with a view of the suspect.
This is not barbed.
Law enforcement is at a real disadvantage.
Ow,
here.
ow, ow,
They're
ow.
trying to get into position. The airship had to pull off for fuel. Those ground officers,
what the fuck?
those officers on the ground, I should say, did not make their way up that embankment as successfully as he did. And now he's trying to climb the barbed wire to try and hide out. He's run through a field off of Port Shed Road, now walking through private property here in Point Doom, trying to hide in the vegetation. There's a lot of thick vegetation here as he tries to blend in. Unbelievable. He's continuing to try and hide out, looking for a hiding spot here. He is taking his shirt off now as he gets close. I think, how close is the closest residence here? Okay, it looks like a home under construction here at the end of Selfridge Drive and Port Shed Road. Selfridge Drive, Port Shed Road, single-family homes, and a home under construction here. Maybe an abandoned property. Where is he? He's right behind that tree there, now walking through that property. He's run out of steam here, and the LA County Sheriff's Department is going to flood this neighborhood.
Is he bleeding on his arm? What was on his arm?
They're going to flood this area in short order here. They must have dozens of units on their way out here at this point. California Highway Patrol back at the crash scene. LA County Sheriff's Department with units on the way out here to Point Doom to try and corner this suspect. He's continuing on the move here in Point Doom through an open field and now behind private property at the end of Port Shed Road and Selfridge Drive, walking through the vegetation, climbing through fences, and again, looking for a hiding spot in this Lux community here in Point Doom. He is at the end of Selfridge Drive. Again, those are the two streets that we're working with, Selfridge Drive and Port Shed Road.
He's got a knife, you said it.
He is now on private property. He's crossed through that fence, is now in somebody's backyard.
Hey, fuck you, chat.
Dude, even in a property like this, I would still put a fence up. I hate the idea of having a fucking backyard with no, like, limits on it.
Well, we're going to lose the suspect.
Why the fuck did the cop pick the right side of the car where the kid is in the passenger seat like WTF?
You can see this violent crash scene at the end of Canaan Doom Road at PCH. A violent crash, the vehicle losing control after crashing into... Jesus
Christ.
Somebody is holding that child on the side of the road. At least one child now. I believe there were two. There was a report of children at the outset of this pursuit. To the best of our information, there were at least 2 kids, but we have a visual now of 1 child being tended to. No ambulance on site yet, on scene. It looks like perhaps an innocent bystander attending to that child who is moving around on the shoulder here. This is going to be the southbound side of PCH. The entire highway has now been shut down, and you can see there is somebody else, it looks like, inside. Oh, there's a sheet. Oh, God.
No, I could be just for,
Looks like the airbags were deployed in there. You've got 1 child in a red shirt being tended to by an innocent bystander there.
Just because there's glass, yeah.
And you have another vehicle, the vehicle that he crashed into,
Could also been for a
with
shock,
an unknown number of occupants or injuries. So this is taking a disturbing turn here. We do not know the fate of the other child at this point. There is now a manhunt going on for the suspect who is hiding out in private property in Point Doom. A major crash scene here at the end of Kane and Doom and PCH.
Is there any other POV of the Scumlord?
Waiting more backup here, and of course, LA County Fire
There should be 3 POVs. We only have 2 right now.
We're going to come around here and get the best angle we can, but it looks like they're going to perhaps use the jaws of life here. It looks like there's a rescue that's about to take place here. There is a rescue operation in progress, perhaps to reach that child. You can see the jaws of life as they try and hold that door open. I'm not sure.
Happy 42 months. I'm leaving
trying to rip the whole pillar open, probably.
This really fucked me up.
I don't know
I'm a
what
mom.
they're
Fuck you.
what they're dealing with inside that vehicle.
Jaws of Life is
Can
like
I get a welcome to the
it's
Jaws
like a scissor for cars, pretty much.
Clearly in pain, holding on to somebody here as they wait for an ambulance. It's a baby seat. They just pulled a baby seat out of the rear of the vehicle. It looks like the boy along the side of the road may be the boy that was in the front seat, and now they've pulled a child seat out of the rear of this vehicle. Oh boy, this is tough to watch. It looks like where? Okay, there he is. There's the passenger. There's the passenger. Okay, so the passenger is actually now being escorted out of the vehicle. He is walking. He appears to be okay, and perhaps the child in the red shirt maybe was in the child seat, or perhaps there may be even more than 2 children. We don't know. Is there a baby in the seat, or is that seat empty?
It looks empty.
Can you see if there's any? They would be tending to the baby. If there was a baby in there, they would have somebody. Is he talking to a child inside that baby seat? There is a child. There's 3 children here. There's a child, a toddler. There's a toddler in the child seat, and 2 other children being tended to. So they've now appeared to have rescued 3 children from this car. The child in the red shirt clearly in pain. They've escorted another child from the passenger seat. That's the child that we saw through the windshield.
Who sees a fucking car like this with 3 children as they steal it and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to continue stealing this. Like, there's no other options.
So 3 children now in the process of being rescued. Fire department on scene. California Highway Patrol with the entire highway shut down. PCH now shut down at Kane and Doom. And it appears, by all accounts, all 3 children are alive and breathing. A major crash scene here. There's another vehicle.
Chad, that was a high speed. That was a
pretty
high speed crash and pretty fucking terrible angle too.
What the extent of the injuries were. The driver of the stolen vehicle,
I don't know how good a baby seats are.
Children apparently ran straight up that embankment into a field in Point Doom and has now disappeared in a neighborhood in Point Doom.
Where?
Okay, California Highway Patrol, perhaps with a lead here as they try, or sheriff. Is that sheriffs? No, those are chippies. California Highway Patrol. Running back to their vehicles here.
The problem is that the airship was refueling and the media went away from the fucking guy. So
the last time we saw him here at Portshed Road at Boniface Drive, in Point Doom, you could see a flood of law enforcement
Look.
In this neighborhood now. Well, hopefully, we can only hope that maybe a resident saw something and was able to
Lock that
report
man
back
up
on
and
the
sentence
location
him
of
to the
this suspect.
sandpaper room
But
immediately.
they appear to
The
be
police
focusing
heli is like...
on this block right here, which is
I can't see it.
within proximity of where we last saw him as he climbed through up this embankment and into this neighborhood here. All right, sounds good. All right, you can see southbound traffic on PCH now coming to a standstill. A long line of traffic here as the highway is shut down, still waiting for paramedics as they tend to these children. We have 3 kids who were inside of that vehicle at the time of that violent crash. And,
Guy that got hit
again,
immediately gets
a
out the
driver
car
who
and
did not
helps
appear
the
to be
kids.
harmed at all,
Holy Chad.
escaping the vehicle, running
Really?
into a
Did that?
neighborhood here in Point Doom. Another vehicle and even a third vehicle
Holy.
that the vehicle crashed into. You can see if you push in on the innocent motorist there, came into contact with another
Holy.
white SUV. And so a total of 3 vehicles, it appears, involved in this crash. He was blowing.
The guy's
right
probably
through the
looking
red
for
light.
another fucking carjack or fucking home
driver
invasion.
with a
Like,
rubber body
brother, they need to be on this
strapped
fucking
to the
bitch.
green light
Hope
and
for a
was
speedy
basically
recovery.
T-boned by the suspect.
It's listen, I'm not gonna be weird about like talking about the media, but it's just it's the name of the game. That the fact that every fucking heli went back to the fucking scene. It was dramatic to watch for the fucking TVs, and they can't pull information from media for the police because they all went back to the scene. It's like,
okay. Copy that.
It's just
Copy
kind of
that.
awful.
So some new information just coming in now from the Sheriff's Department. This is from the Sheriff's Department. We do not know if it's the suspect, but one person is being detained at this moment. One person is being detained in Point Doom, in the vicinity of where we last saw that suspect. We do not know for sure whether it is the suspect
Hi,
who
chat
stole
and
this vehicle and
XQC.
went running.
I hope you
up
all
that
had a great
embankment,
week.
But at least one person is now
XQCL.
being detained. So that is the information coming from the LA County Sheriff's Department. One person in custody, and they will hopefully get a description.
chat, is the police heli back on scene or
short order
not?
here to make sure it is perhaps, with any luck, the right suspect in custody here. Certainly, that would put a lot of people at ease here. And,
Nope, still not there.
Really simplify
I think in
things.
times
Without
like
that, they
this,
still
it
have a
isn't too
perimeter set
extreme
up
to bring
in
back
this
public
neighborhood.
stoning for a piece of shit
We're gonna
like
try
this
and
guy
confirm that
feels
it's the
okay,
suspect,
man.
But right now, one person has been detained. 3 children from that vehicle, that stolen vehicle. They were 3 innocent children who happened to be inside the vehicle.
There has to be more efficient
stolen.
methods. Don't know.
They are all now about to be transported to the hospital.
That might be too simple. All right, buddy. I think they got it from there, man. I think that's the initial guy, no?
Copy.
Sandpaper room mega LOL.
Copy that. Let me know. Sounds good. Are you hearing a fire chopper coming in?
I would say it's efficient. Rocks are
Okay,
free and
copy
we
that.
can get them anywhere.
As we
You should
speak
have an
again,
OBS scene for
the
high-speed
LA
chase so we can see
California Highway
multiple cams at
Patrol
once.
is now working
Also,
with the
that
Sheriff's
guy needs
Department
to have
to
each
try
fingernail
and,
removed slowly.
Give us a solid ID of the suspect.
True, but I like using one POV because it's not as good as you think it is, though. No.
Ran through the neighborhood here, and so they have an accurate description now that hopefully we'll have confirmation.
I usually swap like
whether the
seamlessly
person
between.
being
I try my
detained
best
here
anyway.
in Point Doom is the driver, that GTA suspect who kidnapped these 3 children. In the meantime, if you're just joining us on abc7.com and our streaming channels, you are looking at the end of what seemed to be a tame chase until it wasn't, and a dramatic crash ending after a stolen vehicle with 3 innocent children inside of the car crashed into another innocent motorist at Kane and Doom Road. This is going to be a person who was inside of that vehicle that you're looking at here now being tended to. It looks like perhaps an elderly person being pulled out of that vehicle.
How come the collision's always with the elderly, man?
So that person
like,
right there
Jesus,
was
is so unlucky.
inside of the car near the top of your screen. That was T-boned at the intersection and slammed right into another SUV at the median on PCH at Kane and Doom, which is now
3 out of 3. Last one that I watched anyway.
Crash scene. One person at least inside that vehicle now being tended to. It appears to be an elderly victim. 3 children on their way to the hospital. All 3 children appear to be conscious and breathing. We can breathe a sigh of relief there. We can only imagine that the parents are already on their way to Malibu because this all started in East LA, and that is where this chase began. That's where it appears the vehicle was stolen.
Well, that house is fucking huge. Well, that's a fucking 35 miller right there.
And sheriff's deputies up the road near Port Shed Drive as they search for that suspect.
Hi.
So it looks like they got him, probably, no? Because why are they all AFK like that?
All right, let's go over.
And that's a scum lord right here. I think they got it.
Go over. In custody. It is the suspect. The suspect is in custody. Confirmation now that the suspect is in custody. That's the word from the LA County Sheriff's Department. We're going to make our way over to the neighborhood there where you see all of those flashing lights and try and get a visual of that suspect now under arrest. But it does appear, well, it is now confirmed that suspect
well
is
done. Too easy.
indeed in custody. He went for quite a run. Copy that.
I mean, this should be fucking life for real.
Quite a run through this neighborhood, through an open field first, and then into the neighborhood.
Yo, that mic though, yo, Chris, I don't know if I can do it today, man.
And that's important. They were walking, the 6 and 8 year olds, but boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully the 1-year-old will have no memory of this, we hope. But the 6 and 8 year old, they are going to the trauma of this for sure. And
yeah, the spikes
really
were
for the parents of the kids.
Kind of whatever.
That the suspect is now in custody.
Well, that's the end of that. Wow, hopefully they stack them up, but fucking maxed out. What a loser, this guy, huh? How come this broadcast doesn't have the VOD? There's a lot of places for this guy to go to as well. I think there's a couple places like
A victim is placed naked in the metal room with a rough grit sandpaper conveyor belt floor. The floor is moving very slowly and never stops. The victim would have to walk constantly to avoid being scraped. The victim will tire and pass out, and the conveyor would pin him against the wall and start scraping his flesh. This will wake the victim up and keep him in agony until he bleeds out days later.
That would be for people that do very, very bad things, right? Very bad people would have this